Let's go Tampa Bay Bucks at the Dallas Cowboys. The Bucks favored by 3.5. They're in the driver's seat in the NFC South at 8-6. Cowboys are 6-8. It's Sunday night football this week. Mayfield versus Rush. Cowboys playing better overall in recent weeks, so I think we got a pretty good game Sunday night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Bucks are, I think, one of the most entertaining teams to watch this year. Like every game that they play in seems to be pretty fun, and now Dallas with a couple of guys back do genuinely seem to be pretty resurgent. I don't know how much of that is, again, who have they been playing? Like competition is going to help that, but Micah Parsons in particular, like that dude is a defensive player of the year caliber performer most weeks, and if you show up with one of those guys, it changes the dynamic of everything.
How about his matchup with Tristan Wirfs? Wirfs has a 93.6 pass blocking grade. Remember, he got hurt a couple weeks ago, barely missed any time. When they go one-on-one, the game where Micah Parsons, I don't want to say, put himself on the map. It was his debut, but it was the first game of the season, 2021. Parsons was still a linebacker in name, and he lines up opposite Tristan Wirfs, hits him with a spin move, and it's like, whoa, dude, Wirfs is legit. He might be the best pass-protecting right tackle in all of football, and Parsons beat him with a spin. That was when Micah really started to, it was his first game, but you started to realize this guy needs to rush the passer full time. You can't put a linebacker tag on him, and the rest is history. He's been outstanding. So if and when they match up, Wirfs, of course, playing on the left side right now. And then overall, Tampa Bay has been pass protecting really well. I think it's coincided, like their PFF grade second coincides with Baker Mayfield having one of the lowest average depths of target in the NFL, having a quick release. But Tampa Bay's done a really good job getting the ball out of his hands, and especially the last few weeks, this combination of scheming it up, Baker getting the ball to his playmakers, Mike Evans looking like a dude once again. And, Tampa Bay's offense has been rolling. And then you combine the run game with it. They have a lot of different ways to win right now on that side of the ball.
Yeah. According to PFF, Wirfs has given up 9 total pressures this season, only one of which has been anything more significant than a hurry. And never more than 2 in a game, right? That's nuts. People were saying that Joe Thuney did a pretty solid job filling in at left tackle, and he gave up 10 pressures. Like, that's literally more in one game than Tristan Wirfs has given up all season long for the Bucs. So, yeah, whether he's able to hold up against Micah Parsons, how much Micah Parsons is going to go up against Luke Gedeke on the other side, who himself is a pretty good pass-blocking right tackle, maybe better than pretty good, but just not as good as Tristan Wirfs. Definitely a fun matchup to see. And then how much they move Micah Parsons around and get him matched up on interior players as well, which he's equally capable of doing. But that side of the ball is definitely fascinating. The Cowboys with some corners back as well. Like, they've got dangerous players in the secondary that can pick off passes. Baker Mayfield is, willing to put the ball in the air quite a lot, give those guys chances, simply make mistakes sometimes. That side, I think, should be fireworks.
Most turnover-worthy plays in the NFL this year. We've got Kirk Cousins with 24, and then Baker's number 2 with 22. Then Sam Darnold, Jameis Winston at 18. He's 4th in the league in turnover-worthy plays, despite playing only 9 games total and starting, 5? Jameis with the highest turnover-worthy play percentage. To be fair to Baker, his turnover-worthy play percentage is only 11th worst, but, so there's a volume aspect there. But, there's 1, 2, 3 plays a game that he's serving up to the defense. It's been in inopportune times, too, at the end of the half. And it's interesting, Dallas's defense, I think the last couple of weeks has morphed a little bit into what they were previously. Opportunistic on the back end. They have the ability to turn the ball over. They have the ability to rush the passer. Osa Odighizuwa, Carl Lawson, they complemented Micah Parsons extremely well last week against the Panthers. That's their best shot, right? They got to create some havoc, create some turnovers against this Bucs offense.
Yeah, definitely. Like, those playmakers need to show up in a big way on defense. And, yeah, Carl Lawson's a good player to shout out for Dallas. Like, this was a guy, remember a few years ago before he got hurt, he was one of the better – it wasn't even really a situational pass rusher, but wasn't necessarily the kind of every down dominant force. But he was a good, consistent pass rusher and then kind of got the move in free agency, immediately got hurt, and has never really been the same guy again. But he's had a few games this season for Dallas where he's shown up and made a real impact. And maybe it's not volume, like he's not getting 10 pressures a game like Micah Parsons, but because of his sort of style, like that short, compact, explosive pass rusher, his plays, like the impact plays that he makes, can be massive difference makers. Like he had a game earlier against Atlanta where he showed against, good players, like good offensive linemen, where he had a couple of sacks, instant wins around the corner. Same thing for Carolina. Like Lawson's had a couple of games where he's made a real impact.
Yes, and Odighizuwa is one of the more underrated interior pass rushers in the NFL as well. The other point, Dallas, look, they're playing better. They're running the ball more effectively since they've turned the ball over essentially to Rico Dowdle as the go-to guy. So I think Dallas has way more ways to win this year, and it would be lazy to go back to the first 5, 6, 7 games where their run defense looked historically bad, but it's still similar unit. And the way the Bucs have run the ball, it's certainly not an advantage for Dallas. So I think the Bucs have chances to win on the ground, control the ball. If Baker takes care of the ball, they should win. They're a better team. But I think Cooper Rush making some big-time throws last week, Dallas's run game, their pass rush, it's going to be way more competitive than maybe I would have thought it would be a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So Sunday Night Football, Bucs by 3.5. Anything else you want to add to the game, and then we'll make picks?
No, the only other thing is, you've got the Cooper Rush factor. Like, what are we going to get from him? I think the crumb of truth in the Skip Bayless thing is, like, he's a pretty good backup, and he's capable of good games, but he's also a backup. And that means he's capable of bad games as well. So there's quite a large range of outcomes, I think, for Cooper Rush. What exactly are we going to get from him in any given week?
Yeah, and he was a much better backup. Again, played well last week, played okay against the Bengals, I guess. He was a much better backup when he was working with a 12-win team, when he was working with a very good offensive line, a good group of playmakers. It's not the same Dallas team, but more competitive than they were a few weeks ago. Tampa by 3.5 here. And anything on the line here? No, nothing on the line as far as elimination scenarios.
Nothing on the line. I'm going to go Dallas to cover that.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa. Harry's going to go Tampa.
We've also, of course, passed the point in the season where the sun is going to blind Dallas's own players.
It's a night game too, though, Sam. So
right.
The sun.
But even if it wasn't, we've passed the point where sun is a factor because that only really hits around Thanksgiving time. After that, it's okay.
Where's the moon height on Sunday night? Can we check that?
I don't think you get blinded by the moon though in quite the same way.
Never know. Dallas can make it happen.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of our video.
For more great content, click here to subscribe and here to watch another video. We'll see you again soon.